And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan. Once again, bringing you another my thoughts and review for tonight's season finale of Loki, season 2, episode 6. And oh boy, if you have not seen this episode or have not started season 2 of Loki, you need to start watching it now because honestly, this ending, we're going to talk about it right now, spoiler heavy. So if you have not caught up and you haven't seen this episode tonight, spoilers ahead, come back, watch it, then watch this because we need to discuss some things. Okay, so we all know the timeline. It's messed up, damaged, broken. Everything's all in chaos. So Loki's like, you know what? I got nothing else to do. I got to figure out a way to fix this. There's got to be a way to fix this. So Loki decides, you know what? I got to fix it myself. How? He doesn't know. But last week's episode, he finally got a new, I guess, ability in a way where he can, go back in time for like a couple minutes. He finally figured out how to do it as much as he can to the point where everything started from that whole big blackout episode that we had I think it was episode 4. So he went to that point in time, when Victor Timely got vaporized. He went back to that point to try to convince them, hey, listen, we got to put this in there, put your machine into the big machine so that way it can fix the timeline and keep it stable. Over and over and over again, Victor Timeline keeps going into the dang thing, gets vaporized over and over and over until he finally cracks it. He finally was able to put his device into the main timeline machine and try to, correct it. However, did not work. It's like, how can I put this? Kind of like, have you ever seen the Flash TV show or just anything about DC? Where every time the Flash goes back in time, he always messes up the timeline and it makes another timeline. No matter how many times he tries to fix it, he can't put this timeline back to where it was. Can't, put it in the right, connection. Keeps splitting off multiple times. So that's exactly what we have here. Timeline is all scattered all over. No matter how much they try to put it back together, it's just not going to fit together. It's just not going to go into the dang puzzle. So Loki had to go way back. Figure, okay, if I can stop Sylvie from trying to kill the one who should not be named, aka Kang, maybe that will work. Maybe if I don't kill him, the timeline can still be in one place. All this would have never happened, and the multiverse war won't be getting close to actually happening. So he goes back to that point, and then of course he starts talking to Kang. Kang's there, played by Jonathan Majors. He's there. They start talking. He tries to stop Sylvie from actually killing him. She's not listening. And then him and Kang decide to talk one-on-one, nobody around. And then Kang pretty much gives him an idea of how he can fix the timeline without actually kind of telling him how to do it. So Loki decides to go back even further to the point when he first got to the TVA, when Morbius asks him the main question: what makes Loki Loki? What makes him tick? What does he want in life? Loki wants to be king. Loki wants to be the man. He wants to be the head guy of everything, whether that's Asgard, he goes serve. He wants people to kneel beneath him, his feet, That's what he wants. He always wanted that. He always wanted to be the guy who's like, I'm in charge. I'm Loki. I'm bound with glory. I'm everything. So that's exactly what Loki decides to do. He decides, you know what? I'm going to make the timeline my way. And that's exactly what he does. He decides to go back to the moments where they just fixed the machine and it doesn't work. So Loki decides to do it himself. He goes all in, all Magneto style, gets his crown, but he makes the crown even more, I guess, pointier. And he becomes King Loki, where he literally takes the sacred timeline and makes spaghettis out of it, and he just holds it in his hands, making it all green and holding it, and sits on a throne, and he's like basically holding it like this with his power and his will, basically controlling it and controlling the TVA as well, which I kind of thought that was actually going to happen, that somehow he was going to reset everything and he was going to be the one who created the TVA. but now he's making the TVA his way to, I guess, monitor everything and make sure everything stays properly. I mean, he's holding it. He's holding the timelines together, keeping it from, scattering everywhere. Kind of like how Spider-Man, took those two cables to make sure it doesn't, break the bridge. Kind of like that. And he's holding basically the tether lines between the timelines, sacred timelines, and holding it together. Make sure it doesn't scatter everywhere. That was actually really, really cool. I actually thought, as I was watching the episode, kind of got me thinking. I mean, this all could actually be Marvel's backup plan. Because if you don't know, Jonathan Majors has got some legal problems right now. He hasn't been found guilty or anything. Just saying, he hasn't been found guilty yet. He's going to be going to court soon. So this could be maybe their backup plan. If anything does happen with Jonathan Majors and he can't continue playing Kang, maybe they're going to make Loki kind of the bad guy and have him be the one who wants to make the multiverse his way and have the universe, the multiverse war in his image. I don't know. I'm just thinking outside my head, but anything's possible. He hasn't been found guilty yet, so we can't say they're gonna fire him right now. But I'm just saying, anything's possible. This could be the backup plan. Maybe instead of Kang's dynasty, we get Loki's dynasty or something. But and they could still lead to Secret Wars. But who knows? It feels like Kang is still there, but he's also not there. Like, maybe they keep Loki resetting the timeline to the point where Kang doesn't know about the multiverse war yet. And he does, and he hasn't started doing the shenanigans to get to that point. So there's that. We also saw Morbius and Sylvie and the rest of the TVA going about their business, doing TVA stuff. There was a moment in the episode where Morbius gets a file on, the main MCU timeline where they see Kang causing destruction, which is also, if you look at it closely, there's a picture of him doing the Ant-Man pose, when he's like attacking Ant-Man. So it could be Ant-Man Quantumania. So they could have known about that moment. So we haven't probably met the other Kangs yet. Maybe he resets to that point. Who knows? But man, this was cool. This was a great season. I really wish they kind of went off with this in the beginning, where it kind of wanted maybe Loki to be like the main guy who's in charge of the TVA or the main god of the multiverse. So that way it make you look like, oh yeah, he's going to be the big bad. And then he gets bullied by the bigger bad, which would be Kang. And then he's got to come in and help out, step in and try to fix it himself. And if he can't, get the Avengers to come in and, maybe a multiverse team or something, but for the, Secret Wars. But still, great episode. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen next. Now that this is over, the Marvels just happened too. I just saw it. Put my review up for that tomorrow. So yeah, now we just got to play the waiting game for Kang's Dynasty or whatever they're going to call it now, just in case they decide to change it. But with Loki being the guy who's basically holding the multiverse together right now, kind of like glue, what's going to happen to the multiverse? Is it going to really get messed up? Is the other movies going to get affected? Is Deadpool 3 still going to get affected? Like, what's going to happen now? Does Deadpool 3 happen the way it happens because of what Loki did? Or is it going to happen because of what Kang did? A lot of questions to be answered. Not really sure, but Marvel right now is still at a very slippery slope right now, but it's starting to get its balance back. So hopefully this leads into great stuff for Marvel. We just have to wait patiently. Now that the strike is over, thank you to all the actors working hard on the picket line for that. Hopefully everything can get back on track. So we have to wait. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought. Did you guys enjoy Loki season 2? Do you think Loki's gonna be the big threat for the next 2 Avenger movies? Is he gonna be the one to fight the Avengers? Well, multiple Lokis. Is Kang still gonna be a factor? Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about it, because honestly, seeing that ending was great. There's no after credit, unfortunately, but seeing what Loki did was pretty cool. And I'm excited to see what he's going to be doing next. So leave me a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much, and have a good night.